Greetings people, how's it going? Person with a non-working camera here. Today we're gonna take a closer look at something that you might recognize, and that is Floki. We talked about Floki 5 days ago, TokenFi 3 weeks ago, and also a bit over a month ago. And since then, when we look at the magic charts of crypto, things go up quite well. In the past month, almost 800% for Floki, we get almost 200% for TokenFi, and while this one is not financial advice, if you would have bought this when I made the videos, you would have been quite happy. You would smile just like me in the thumbnail. To summarize the beginning of the last video, in case you haven't heard about Floki, Floki pretty much takes the whole meme coin ecosystem and idea behind it, you know, dog, funny hat, but then they put in work and effort with a good team in order to bring quality to the entire project. Now over the past couple of years they have been building during the bear market, and you can see simply based on the chart, which has a 6.999% gain overall, that they're getting closer and closer to Doge, Shiba, Pepe and a couple others. And because they still count into the meme category as that is how it started, when we click on memes over here for example, you can see that Floki is number 4 in almost the top 50 of all of coin market cap. And whenever people make money in anything, so let's say they make money with Doge or Shiba, it goes down into project 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then people again make money, profit, trickle down. So in that case, this was the most obvious buy I've ever seen, and I am quite happy with the purchase I made. But then again, this is not about financial advice, this is to tell you about what they do. Well, in the last video we talked about the different products that they have right now, where they got an NFT locker that is on chain for I think 15 or 16 different chains by now. They have their own upcoming NFT metaverse card game called Valhalla, a DAO governments, TokenFi, which is a token for the real world tokenization RWA for real world assets, which seems to be the narrative moving forward. So they got this in place already as well, with a market cap of less than 100 mil. They're doing a pretty good job overall. That being said, what is there to say about the token that has a bigger 24-hour trading volume than market cap? There are a couple of things. First of all, when I record this video on March 9th, they announced this over here. This probably happened already, depending on when you watch this, as they want to burn 190 billion Floki tokens, valued around 44 million. Now based on the current market cap, that is 2% of the entire circulating supply. On top of that, they also give away $200, 50 times, so $10,000 in total, for which you can participate over here. And you might say, okay, so they burn a whole bunch of money. How many tokens that are currently in circulating supply are actively being traded? And the answer for that is around 70%, give or take. Most of the tokens that they have, for both Floki as well as TokenFi, have been locked up for up to 4 years. So a pretty good chunk of that, 20 to 30%, again depending on the day and the week, is already being locked in here with pretty high staking rewards. And if you would have joined the project about 1 year ago, then you could have gotten, I think like 37 to 40%, maybe even a higher APY for the entire year, and then also 7 times your money. And I feel like that's a pretty good deal, so let's go back in time and do that. Now besides the burn, 1 day ago they took over the heart of New York, where they had their own billboard on Times Square. But that is not just one single thing that happened for a day, that is going to be running for 3 months. All the retail people that hear about the funny crypto coins with the hats, they are yet to join crypto. This is the start of the bull run, so they have no idea. Now they have an idea. For that they got the double-sided HD LED screen that is next to the Nasdaq billboard in Times Square, which can be seen by 330,000 visitors per day. And if it runs for 3 months, then roughly 12 million people will at least walk in that area and be exposed to that billboard. Also interesting part down there, when people think of New York, they think about Times Square. If they think about meme coins, they think about Floki. Psychologically speaking, if you see item and person, or like place and attraction 8 to 25 times together, you build like a mental connection. So if you think about toothpaste, Colgate. Not because it's good, but because you heard it and seen it often enough. And there's a good chance with their marketing that the next millions of people that join crypto will see Floki, meme coin, and just make that connection. And when they hear all meme coins are pumping, which one should I buy? That would be the first thing that comes to their mind. They also had a more in-detail Medium article, but the point is, bunch of millions of people are going to see this, that then connect Floki and memes. Now, the marketing director and core contributor called Saber over here, I mentioned him in other videos as well, in which he tweeted, not so subtly, that the frog is here, frog might go, and he told you months if not years ago of what is about to happen. Now I would imagine if you're part of the team, to see the actual development is pretty nice, because if you build for years and years, and then it finally pays off, must feel pretty good. From an investor's point of view, also feels pretty good. Can't complain here. What we mentioned last week as well is that DWF Labs that invests into some of the biggest altcoins, I would say, as well as some niche tokens over here. They purchased $10 million in TokenFi tokens as well, which is their sister project as mentioned earlier. They also put I think like 10 or 15 million into Floki / TokenFi a year before. So they're heavily invested when it comes to this. Now simply based on hearing them invest into something, I already built the mental connection, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, that if they put money into something, they probably understand quite well on how things perform. TokenFi short recap, all these smart trillionaires in the world, the ones that own hedge funds like BlackRock and the next thing, they take their money and gotta put it into something. And then they say by 2030, most of the stuff around us is going to be digital and the real world assets like things to be owned are going to be tokenized, so available online. Then a project that does exactly that makes a whole bunch of sense. And a venture capitalist put $10 million into their tokens, there might be a reason why. Especially because they can afford, with that amount of money, to pay people for research and development that probably spent more than like 8 minutes of do your own research on this and make a good decision. Now at the end I will also show you how many tokens I personally own, because there's always the thing when like a YouTuber makes a video about a project, yeah it's nice and all, but did you buy it? So I can show you how many TokenFi tokens I have and how much I have in Floki, but that is for the end of the video. When it came to the total amount of money staked, the TVL, they reached a new all-time high, which is 658 million. Across Floki staking as well as the locker in here, exceeds the combined TVL of pretty much all the other meme coins. So while there might be short-term hype and Pepe gets like $3-4 billion out of nowhere, hype is great, but hype doesn't last forever. Now nothing against the green frog with a funny name, but eventually quality has to take over the quantity. So they say it's evident that there's significant interest in the Floki ecosystem. The people's cryptocurrency combines memes with strong fundamentals. Now if we do the math right now, we got 580 million here, plus 138 million there, and last time in school, my math teacher would have said that's about 718 million, which means since this post, there have been another 60 million that just joined that locker slash staking pool, and you can see the shortest amount of time for staking is 3 months. Same period for TokenFi as well, where you get an even higher APY, or another $35 million come into it, so we get $750 million in here, locked up and or staked for at least 3 months, if not longer, meaning people actually believe in the quality of the project. Now in case you haven't heard about FlokiFi in the last video, you can lock your LP tokens, fungible tokens, NFTs, and multi-tokens in a few clicks. They're supported by 15 blockchains. I think they announced the 16th one as well, which was Base. I think we talked about that in the last video. Almost 500,000 holders and an all-time high market cap of 3.5 billion. And they implement the ERC 1155 standard, which is fancy words, to allow you to lock multiple tokens, which makes this one the major locker protocol with that support. They also got listed recently on CoinManor. You probably haven't heard about in the West or the East, but if you're in the Middle East, so right in between, it is one of the biggest crypto exchanges for retail and institutional clients. Now what countries do we have? We have Bahrain, we have the United Arab Emirates, we got Kuwait. Now if you know any crypto person ever, they probably went to either Miami or Dubai, because in there, money isn't real. You can just create it out of nowhere, which is a pretty good sign if they hear about, oh, funny meme token with a good team behind it, let's buy it. And then they're also traded over here on StockWits, the world's top investor social network, as the most popular asset in the world. So it's not just ranked above Doge, Shiba, Pepe, and so on and so forth, but they're also ranked above Nvidia and Tesla, which is a pretty good sign. Now also talking for Nvidia, in about 10 days from now, they have their conference called GCP, I think was the name, which is all AI focused. And as I mentioned in the video prior, anything that has to do with AI or the adaptation of that is probably going to perform quite well surrounding those news and the upcoming weeks. Now, next logical step in here, people buy AI, it goes up, they sell some of the profits and gotta put it into something else. There's a whole bunch of money that will flood into the market over the next month. And if people are new to crypto, they heard about Bitcoin, they heard about Doge, because funny dog, and then they hear about anything else surrounding that, where they might think, okay, let's actually do my own research here for like 10 minutes and see what I find. And I wouldn't be surprised if Floki can easily hit like 10 bill in market cap, which sounds like a lot, but money in crypto is pretty stupid. So you can see that Shiba went from 5 billion roughly just a month ago, actually just 2 weeks ago, to 25 billion up here, even 26 if we are precise. If $21 billion can go into funny dog that has less planned when it comes to quality and longevity, it wouldn't be too far-fetched, I would say, for Floki to get to at least 10 billion. So 4x in here. Now how much do I have, right? It's the important question. I'm the YouTube man with glasses. I tell you about this project for the 4th or 5th time by now. How much did I put in? I'll show you a screenshot right now for my Binance. I personally have between like 8 and 9k in there based on the day so far, and I can tell you, I'm quite happy with the performance, and I will 100% hold that until we reach at least 10 billion. Because I think this is pretty easy to reach, given the amount of volume and hype they have surrounding anything memes and crypto, plus the marketing, plus additional listings, and how much is locked already. To me this just seems logical to hold. Now obviously, not financial advice, do with your money whatever you want, you can burn it if it's a Tuesday evening and you're bored and cold. But in my case, I believe the money in there, and if it turns the like 8-9k that I have in there to like 40,000, I will smile and then reference this point 1 month later and say, thank you past self, good decision. And then my future self can tell you, told you so. But let's see how this one goes. Now then, for their partner token, TokenFi, I bought that on the Binance Smart Chain because I don't like gas fees on ETH because they're insane. And I got about $2,100 in there right now. I'm up like 40%-ish, because sometimes you buy exactly when the hype is the highest, and then you just hold on to it long term. Now I would say because this one is developed by the same core team as Floki, and this can easily do a 4x in here, in my opinion, it shouldn't be too hard for this one, with an actual good idea, to reach like a $1 billion evaluation. So in that case, if we do like a 12x in here, then my $2,000 turn into like 25, and then I can also reference this point in time and say, good job. Now, as always, nothing in here is financial advice. And I would say if you get any questions, links to everything down below. I will now slowly but steadily set up the new microphone so we can have better audio quality. And then also fix the camera so I don't have to use this angle. But until then, take care.